Hello, traders. FX Pip Collector here. Today is Wednesday, January 22nd. This is my morning video where we look at all the US dollar pairs, including gold, and we also take a look at a couple of the JPY pairs. If you haven't done so already, definitely make sure you check out my free Discord trading community. About 5,700 members are in that community. It's a great place to be, and it's 100% free. If you would like to join my membership, then you do that by joining at my website, fxpipcollector.com, and you get access to all the benefits listed below that is scrolling across the screen. So anyways, let's take real quick, let's take a look at the news calendar. Today is Wednesday, and Wednesday is normally a really volatile day, but we don't really have a lot on the news calendar today. President Lagarde is doing a speech this afternoon, which is at 3:15 UK time, or what is that, 10:15 Eastern Standard Time, and that definitely could move the euro pairs. So definitely check that out. I think there's a lot of fears right now in Europe over the tariffs that Trump is potentially going to put on Europe. So that probably definitely could move the market. So anyways, let's check out the US dollar index first. Now, one thing I just wanted to point out, hopefully you've been watching my videos because you know that I think that this is a wave C of an expanding flat or a regular flat. But I think there's a good chance that we are in a trend right now. This move to the downside is definitely a trend. Now, we have not broken structure yet, but what I mean by that move down as a trend is I don't think it's just going to end the correction and go up like that. I think that this is just a wave A of a correction. The fact that that move down is playing out as a trend tells me that even if it does turn back up, it's probably going to make a wave B, it's probably going to make a wave C, and then eventually it will turn back up. And then we're going to have to pay attention to see if it's a wave 5 of C, and then it turns back down and breaks structure, or if it really is going to expand into that expanding flat. So just keep that in mind that we are very likely only in a wave A of an ABC pullback. And this is the daily time frame, so you'd expect that to last quite some time. Moving on to the euro dollar. The euro dollar is just about, pretty much is breaking structure now. And based on the US dollar index, I think it's very clear that this is a wave A of an ABC correction, kind of like what happened here, ABC. So what does that mean? That means I would expect to probably see a wave B, which would be a correction to the wave A, and then eventually I would expect it to go up and make a wave C. I think it could be a wave 4 too if you zoom out a little bit on the daily or go to the weekly time frame. So I would expect to see something like this probably over the next several weeks before we get another push to the downside and another potential big move to the downside. So going down to the 1 hour time frame. Now I have my Fibonacci extension on here because that's about the only way that you can project a wave A. You know, most likely a wave A does break the structure of the previous trend, which it's starting to do now, so that's perfect. Now all we need to do is see like a double top at a Fibonacci extension level, and then we need to see a break to the downside. If I see that picture right there, that probably is telling me that the wave A or maybe wave 1 is complete and that we're heading down to make a correction to this whole move up, which will probably be either wave B or wave 2. I definitely think it's going to be an A, B, C of wave 4, most likely, like I was showing on the daily time frame. But you never know, which is why I always label it as an A or 1, B or 2, and then 3 or C. Moving on to the pound dollar. The pound dollar is quite a bit weaker to the upside because of the pound weakness. But just like the euro dollar, the fact that this move up to me is a trend tells me that this is not just going to turn down and continue the downtrend. More than likely, this is only a wave A. It's probably eventually going to go down, make a wave B, and then probably back up and make a wave C. And it probably will end up breaking structure because an ABC correction normally does break structure in the previous move. So maybe end up looking something like this before it actually goes down. And keep in mind, this is the daily time frame, so this is going to take probably several weeks to play out. Moving down to the 1 hour time frame. Now, on the 1 hour time frame, it definitely doesn't really look like a trend on the sort of time frames. It looks more like an ABC correction. So I definitely am primarily looking for shorts. So if we do get like a nice Fibonacci bounce, nice engulfing move to the downside, I would take it as a short. I would expect it to most likely be a correction to this move up. Like I just said, probably an A and a B. But the trend is down and the trend is your friend, so there you never really know. I mean, it could just keep on going, making new lows. I would expect it. to make a wave B and then eventually go up and make a wave C, like I showed on the daily time frame. But the fact that the trend is down on the higher time phase tells me that if we do get short, it may surprise us and just continue the downtrend. So moving on to the Aussie dollar. On the Aussie dollar, I go up to the daily time frame. Aussie dollar, I think, is very obvious, especially on the higher time frames, that this move up is not a well, it probably is a correction, but it's only the beginning of a correction. Probably only a wave A of a correction. Most wave A's do take out the wave 4 of the previous move, so I mean, I would expect to probably see it take out that high, then make a pullback for wave B, and then probably up for a C, and then I think we're going to get more downside once this ABC correction is complete. So taking it all the way down to the 1 hour time frame, I still got my Fibonacci retracement on there, but it's not really doing much for us anymore, because we are, beyond the 78 and we're actually moving beyond the 88 too. I think there's a pretty good chance that at this point it probably is going to end up going up and taking out the high of wave 4, probably making that 345 shape, and then hopefully giving us a break of structure, telling us that this whole move up is complete and that the wave A is over, and that the next move would be down for a wave B, and a wave B would be a correction to the wave A. So the first thing I would do after I see a break to the downside is potentially go short and put my Fibonacci retracement on the whole move up, looking for a three-way pullback for the wave B. So I don't really look at the Kiwi dollar because it's exactly the same as the Aussie dollar. It's just usually one is a little stronger than the other, but it's literally exactly the same pattern. Moving on to the US dollar CAD. Now the US dollar CAD definitely has that 345 shape that you see at pretty much the end of every single trend, but we do not have the break of structure yet. And looking at the dollar index, I'm really not convinced that even if it does break, that it's going to turn into a trend reversal. I don't really think it's going to. I think it's more likely going to break, then pull back, and then go down again, and then it's going to go up one more time. But we have to keep an eye on it because if it does break, it definitely has that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 look. So if we do get a good break of structure, we definitely want to turn into a seller long term. But as of right now, this is pretty much just a one big sideways range. If you watched my video yesterday, you do know that I definitely think there is some pretty nice clarity to this move, though. I think that this is a wave 3 of 3. I think we have a WXY, so 3 waves of W, 3 waves of X, 3 waves of Y for the wave 4. And then we have 5 waves up for the wave 5. And then we have impulsive down, break of structure, wave A, corrective up, wave B, impulsive downtrend, wave C, and then impulsive uptrend, most likely a wave 5. So I think this spike right here is the wave 5. So I'm sorry, I think this is the ABC and then that right there. So this right here is a wave 5 of wave 3. This is an ABC of 4, and then that spike right there definitely looks like a wave 5. If it is a wave 5, and it definitely looks like it is, then it probably will go down and break structure. Then I would expect to see a pullback. And at the end of that pullback, we definitely want to try to go short because it's either going to be an A or 1 to the downside. The pullback will either be a wave B or wave 2, and then I would expect to see down for a wave 3 or a wave C. If it really is a 1, 2, 3 and we get short, that's going to be a big, big swing trade. If it's an ABC, it still should be a pretty good swing trade either way. So moving on to the US dollar Swiss. Now the US dollar Swiss is also to me getting very obvious that this move down right here is not a complete correction, but it's instead just a trend within the correction, most likely just a wave A, which means it's probably going to eventually go down, probably near structure, then make a pullback, maybe break structure, make a wave B, then go down, make a wave C, and then probably back up again. I still think it's either a wave A or a wave 1, and the wave A, wave 1 will normally take out the previous high, which it definitely has not done so yet, which is another reason why I think this is just going to be an ABC within the uptrend. Moving down to the 1 hour time frame. So we got our Fibonacci retracement on here on this last move up. And if we do get a 78% fib bounce and a break of structure, I would go long, definitely, because you never know. The trend is up and it could just keep going. But at this point, I think it's probably more likely it is going to go down and it's probably going to break structure. And this move is just going to be a wave A of an ABC correction, like I showed on the daily time frame. So I think that more than likely it's going to make this wave A and that it'll start a pullback to this move down for a wave B. Or maybe if we're lucky, it really is a wave 1 and this really is a wave 2, and then eventually it goes down for a big wave 3. Either way, I would expect it to, whether it's an AU01 or a BU02, it's pretty much exactly the same trading strategy. So either way, we're expecting the same type of move. Moving on to gold. Gold definitely broke to the upside this week. Um, Now, if you've been watching my videos for the last few weeks, then you know that I've been suggesting to go long on gold for weeks now, and anybody that's been trying to sort this thing on the way up has probably not been doing too good. Now, I think this is a wave C of wave B. Where does a wave C of wave B normally go? To the 100% Fibonacci extension of wave A. Where's the 100% Fibonacci extension of wave A? Right around the 2780 area, maybe 2770 to 2780. So I think this is going to potentially go up. Probably have to make a wave 3, make a wave 4 to match this wave 1 and wave 2 down here. Wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, wave 5 of C, which is a wave C of B. Then if we get a push down, then if we get a break of structure, that's what I would expect to see it to go down for a big wave C of wave 4 on the weekly time frame. So let's go down to the 1 hour time frame. On the 1 hour time frame, you have to keep in mind that my target is still quite a ways up. 2780 is still a decent amount of space to the upside. So what would I be doing right now? I would be looking for longs at the end of pullbacks. I definitely wouldn't try to go long now, but if we had a nice pullback, I would try to go long here, probably there. Try to go long there, try to go long here, and try to go long in the future at the end of another pullback. As long as it continues to make this high, low, high, start down here, low, higher, high, higher, low, higher, high, higher, low, higher, high, higher, low, higher, high, higher, low, higher, high. As long as it continues to make that high, low series, I don't see any reason whatsoever to even think about going short. Not at least until we get up near this 100% Fibonacci extension, which would be my projection for wave C of wave B. So let's move on. Let's look at the US dollar yen. US dollar yen, to me, looks like we have a pretty nice break of structure. That definitely looks like it's holding. So I personally think the wave B is already over. If you actually either zoom out quite a ways or go to the weekly time frame, you can see that I think this is an A. I think this is a C of B. So A, B, C of B. And I think there's a good chance that this thing is going to make a huge downtrend for a C. And it's going to be a wave 4 on the weekly time frame. So A, B, C of 4 most likely. Or maybe just a subdivision of a much larger trend. But anyways, now that we got to break a structure to the downside, I'm definitely bearish. And I'm definitely looking for sorts on the sort of time frames at the end of pullbacks. So going down to the 1 hour time frame, one thing we need to see though, I'm definitely looking for shorts, but one thing we need to see is that this has 5 waves down. What normally happens after you have 5 waves down is you get a break to the upside. So it definitely made 1, 2, 3 waves up this morning, and it definitely did give us a little bit of a fib bounce, and it may just keep on going down, honestly. But I think it probably more likely is going to try to go up and take out these highs, make a more proper ABC correction to this whole move down before we get that bigger push down. So I definitely am looking for shorts, and I definitely don't see why that wouldn't have been a short right there. They might just keep on drifting down. But be very, very cautious because after you get 5 waves, normally you get a break of those 5 waves. So it's probably more likely that it is going to go up and make a crutch into this whole move down, which would give you a break of structure right there. So let's move on to the euro again. Euro again, I mean, this whole move right here, I mean, I think just like the US dollar again, that this is a way B over here. And then this is definitely impulsive. I was thinking it was a 1. Now, do we have a couple possibilities? Possibility is, number one is that this is already the end of a correction and this is just going to keep going down. But possibility number two is that this is an A, B, C of 2, and then it goes up, takes out these highs, and then goes down. Kind of seems like it does want to do that, doesn't it? We definitely got a nice impulsive move up, but we don't have a break of structure. It could end up rejecting structure and going down, so I'm keeping an eye out for a possible short on sort of time frames. So going down to the 1 hour time frame, zooming out a little bit, um, there probably is a pretty good chance that we are going to break to the upside now because we are above the 78%. Normally, when you go beyond the 78% of any given move, it does end up breaking the previous structure, like going up beyond the 100%. So we have to keep an eye on this because if it goes up and rejects this structure, makes a break to the downside, I'm going to go short. And if it turns into the continuation of the downtrend, great, that's awesome. If it just goes down and makes a crutch into this last move up, and then turns up again, then I think worst case scenario is you'd probably have a break even trade, and then you could probably try to go long, knowing that it's actually heading back up. So hopefully we can kind of learn and earn at the same time by going short right here, whether it's going to keep on trending down or whether it makes a correction to this last push up. So let's take it to the pound yen, back up to the daily. On the pound yen, to me, it looks even more convincing that the correction is already over, that the wave B is already over, and this is like a wave one. And even though this move up looks more like a trend, it kind of seems like it potentially could just keep going down from here. Now, you would kind of expect to see one, two, three waves of two and then down, wouldn't you? So that is a possibility, just like the euro yen is. It does this. But to me, it looks like the correction is already over. And if the correction's already over, then this is potentially just going to keep on going down. So I'm definitely keeping an eye out for shorts, especially because we don't have a break of structure to the upside yet. Going down to the 1 hour time frame, we got our Fibonacci retracement on this last push down right here. We are above the 78%, which usually means that it probably is going to go up. It probably is going to give us a break of structure. If it rejects structure, it makes an impulsive move down, I'm going to go short. And just like the euro again, we're going to hopefully learn and earn at the same time whether it just continues the downtrend or whether it makes a correction to the last wave up. If it makes a correction to the last wave up, then it would likely do something like this and then turn back up. In worst case scenario, you probably get out with break even, maybe go long for the wave C on the much higher time frame. So hopefully we can go short and learn and earn at the same time, whether this is continuation of the downtrend or whether it's just a correction to the last push up. So as far as the rest of these pairs are concerned, I do analyze every single thing on this list every single day for my premium members. I do Zoom meetings, live streams, 4 days a week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, 90 minutes to 2 hours long. And I do share every single trade I take with my members at the time of entry with stop losses. I don't really use take profits. I just use stop losses. And you get all that by signing up at my website, fxpipcollector.com. It is only $30 a month. It's extremely cheap. And you get access to the trading community also, which is a really, for me, the best part of the membership. Or if you'd like to just join and be a free member, then you can definitely more than welcome to do so by joining at the link at the end of this video or in the description of this video. I got the link to my free Discord channel. So as always, thank you and enjoy the rest of your day.